Welcome to Law Reader Channel, Episode 1.20, Article 255 to Article 268. That this Environment and Natural Resources Code, English translation supported by the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, under supervision by the Ministry of Environment of the Royal Government of Cambodia. Article 255. Implementation of deposit for hazardous waste. 1. Legal entities producing or importing tools, equipment, or consumer materials that become hazardous waste when no longer used or after use shall include a waste deposit in addition to the price of the equipment or consumer goods and will be returned in exchange for the waste to be collected from clients or consumers. 2. Types of tools, equipment, or consumer materials required to include a waste deposit in addition to the price of tools, equipment, or consumer materials as stated in paragraph 1. Above shall be determined in the prakas by the Minister responsible for the environment and natural resources. Article 256. Application for a commercial permit. Persons intending to conduct business in the form of waste collection, purchase, storage, disassembly, treatment, or incineration and establishment of landfill for electrical and electronic waste shall apply for a permit and complete the form at the Ministry responsible for environment and natural resources. Article 257. Obligation relating to electrical and electronic appliances. Persons with electrical and electronic waste shall fulfill the following obligations. A. Keep the waste safe and separate it from household waste. B. Discharge the waste to a processing site or electric and electronic waste collection site, as determined by competent ministries or institutions. Article 258. Obligation of business owners. Business site owners who collect, purchase, store, disassemble, assemble, or process electrical and electronic waste shall fulfill the following obligations to 8. Comply with technical guidelines on electric and electronic waste management in an environmentally safe manner in their business operations. B. Organize waste data generated from their business. C. Use collection service of waste generated from the repair, as determined by competent authorities. Article 259. Obligation of electric and electronic appliance producers. Persons producing electric and electronic appliances shall fulfill the following obligations. 8. Collect and handle waste from electric and electronic appliance production processes by complying with technical guidelines on electric and electronic waste management in an environmentally safe manner. B. Install environmental pollution controllers. C. Organize waste data generated from their production. D. Use collection service of waste generated from the repair, as determined by competent authorities. Article 260. Prohibition of the disposal of electrical and electronic waste. Disposal of electric and electronic waste into water sources, garbage landfills or public spaces, and the burning or breaking apart of electric and electronic waste that causes harm to the environment and public health is prohibited. Part 3. Liabilities and obligations of hazardous waste operator. Article 261. Permit for hazardous waste service or business. Hazardous waste operators providing service of collection, transportation, treatment, destruction or final handling or purchase, sale, processing or exploitation of hazardous waste shall receive a hazardous waste service or business permit from the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources. Article 262. Obligation of hazardous waste operator. Hazardous waste operators providing services or doing business on hazardous waste shall be responsible for A. Managing hazardous waste on their service site in compliance with environmental safety rules and conditions in the service or business activity permit. B. Label warnings on transportation means and service or business sites. C. Submitting a report on types and quantity of hazardous waste to the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources, monthly or as required. Article 263. Payment for environmental pollution. 1. Hazardous waste operators conducting exploitation, treatment, destruction, or final handling of hazardous waste shall make payment for environmental pollution in compliance with the provisions of this code. 2. As stated in the above paragraph, the types of sites required to make environmental pollution payments and payment rates shall be determined in the interministerial prakas by the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources and the ministry or institution responsible for economy and finance. Part 4. Importation, exportation, and transboundary transportation of hazardous waste. Article 264. Prohibition of hazardous waste importation. Hazardous waste importation from any foreign country to the Kingdom of Cambodia is prohibited unless the hazardous waste fulfills the need for a dangerous domestic waste processing investment project. In this case, the format and procedure of hazardous waste importation shall be determined by a subdecree. Article 265. Permission for hazardous waste exportation. Hazardous waste exportation from the Kingdom of Cambodia shall be permitted only when meeting the following requirements. H. Having an importation permit from that destination country. B. Having the exportation permit from the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources. C. Having a guarantee letter from the exporter certifying that hazardous waste to be exported will not be returned to the Kingdom of Cambodia. D. Following the hazardous waste exportation procedure in compliance with relevant international legal instruments concerning hazardous waste to which the Kingdom of Cambodia is a state party and other requirements as determined by the royal government. Article 266. Permission to transport hazardous waste across the Kingdom of Cambodia. Transportation of hazardous waste from one country to another across the Kingdom of Cambodia should be permitted only when meeting the following requirements. 8. Having a permit from the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources and competent ministry or institutions at least 30 days before transboundary transportation. B. Having paid transboundary transportation fees as determined by the ministry responsible for economy and finance. C. Having a contract to pay for damage and environmental cleaning in the incident of accidental leaks of hazardous waste during transboundary transportation. D. May request temporary parking during transboundary transportation for a maximum of 15 days from entering the Kingdom of Cambodia. Each following the hazardous waste exportation procedure in compliance with relevant international legal instruments concerning hazardous waste to which the Kingdom of Cambodia is a state party and other requirements as determined by the royal government. Part 5. Measures in case of hazardous waste spill or leaks. Article 267. Emergency response planning. Site owners of production and commercial activities that generate hazardous waste and hazardous waste operators shall develop emergency response plans for the incident of spills, leaks, explosion, inflammation, or release of hazardous waste and shall submit the plan to the ministry responsible for environment and natural resources for review and approval. Thank you for listening. See you in episode 1.21. Good luck in 2025.